Welcome to part 13 of our holiday of a lifetime. In this video, we dock in Hakodate and marvel at one of the finest night views in Japan. Well, hello, I'm Rhonda.
And I'm Andrew.
And welcome to video 13.
Video 13. Wow. We shouldn't have a video 13 because on cruise ships they don't have a deck 13.
They don't have a deck 13.
No, so we should have just gone from 12 to 14.
We should have done that, but a bit late. Left it a bit late now.
Anyway,
this video shows our day in Hakodate. And Hakodate is one of the main cities on Hakkaido, which is Japan's most northern island. The princess ship tour this day was called Mt Hakodate Aerial Tram by night. And that didn't commence until 6 o'clock in the evening because we needed to get to the top of the mountain when it was dark to get the full benefit of all the lights.
Correct.
So this is good actually because this enabled us to have a sleep in and have a leisurely morning, and we took our time with breakfast and just took our time getting ready.
Yep.
So it was lovely.
So what are we going to do? So we thought we'd go into the township, and Princess provided a bus service from Minato-cho. Minato-cho Wharf. Anyway, that's where we were docked, but into the main township, which was about 6 kilometres away. And
that's
of course, we'd done some research and what to do in Hakodate during the day, and its most famous attraction is the Hakodate Morning Square, and it showcases some absolutely amazing fresh produce, in particular some way out exotic seafood.
Amazing seafood. This is a very popular market with the locals and tourists, and gosh, we were just fascinated walking through this market. The choices of seafood that range from dry seafood, scallops to tuna, spider crabs, which were like that, even bigger with their legs. And some food that we didn't even really know what was, but also they had a tank with squid, and people were actually catching their live squid. But
yeah, that was fun to watch, wasn't it?
That was interesting. Also, they sold fruit, but in particular they sold strawberries, and we couldn't believe how expensive they were.
Well, $15
Australian, but to be fair,
there was about 9 strawberries.
There was 9 strawberries, but they were huge.
Oh no,
they were like a mini
juicy
apple.
As absolutely anything.
Yeah, so we thought, oh, okay, maybe $15 isn't that expensive after all.
No. This market also had many small pop-up eating places, and each of these places showed photos of the dishes they had on offer.
That's right, but we chose not to eat them.
Yeah, well, you chose not to eat there.
I was a bit fussy.
As you have been all the way through Japan.
I shouldn't have been, because everything actually looked quite nice, but I thought,
it looks beautiful.
I wasn't sure, but anyway, never mind.
After spending a few hours at the market, we walked around Hakodate looking for somewhere to actually have lunch, because you wouldn't eat in the market.
So anyway, we eventually found a Japanese-Chinese restaurant.
Yeah, Japanese-Chinese restaurant.
Yeah.
There is such thing.
Yeah, anyway, this is called Hakodate Menya Yamen. And it was more sort of like a cafe rather than a restaurant, but it was very nice, very clean, lovely. The staff were nice. And we both of us had ramen.
Yeah, we had a different type of ramen each.
Yeah, and it's my first ramen I've ever had, and it was actually very, very nice.
Yeah, so you found something you do like in Japan. So.
Anyway, after lunch, we're back on the bus.
Back on the bus.
And we had a few hours to kill, really, because our tour wasn't leaving till 6 p.m. So we just decided to just relax by the pool deck and just, because it was quite a nice day.
Yeah, so we had an early dinner of hot dogs at the Trident Grill. I tried to take a little video of that. It's got my finger sticking in it, but I'm still going to put it on.
Yeah, hot dogs after having beautiful ramen. Let me have hot dogs.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Anyway, 6 o'clock, and then we're on the bus and on our way to the base of Mt Hakodate.
That's right.
Yeah, and Mt Hakodate is actually an extinct volcano and is 1,099 feet above the town. And to get to the summit, you have to take an aerial tram, which they say is the busiest tram in all of Japan.
Yeah, that's right. And it was very busy.
It certainly was.
But you travel almost half a mile on this tram to get to the summit. And when you get there, it's crowned with many, many observation platforms.
Yeah, different various heights.
That's right. And where you get to view the most incredible lights of this harbour and city. It was breathtaking.
They're breathtaking, yeah.
It was breathtaking. And the views from Mt Hakodate, they're considered to be one of the 3 best in all of Japan.
Yeah. So that's why we're quite excited to go to this.
And you can see why. It's beautiful. We actually had a feeling that this tour was going to be busy because it was Golden Week, so that's public holidays for Japan.
Yep.
And the weather was so sunny and so beautiful.
Oh, yeah, so it was a starry night, as they say.
So anyway, the bus arrived at the base of the mountain and yes, the queues snaked around for, I don't know, felt like a kilometre, probably wasn't, but we think we're never even going to get to the end of the queue.
No.
And our tour was going to be over because it's only a 2-hour tour.
Yeah, well, it was an hour or something it took to get on the tram, wasn't it?
It was unbelievable.
Eventually we made it to the top of Mt Hakodate, and it was a terrific tram ride looking back. And it looked like everybody in Hakodate, in fact everybody in Japan was there. It was just wall-to-wall people, wasn't it?
It was easily 10 rows deep or even more.
It was overwhelming. I remember worried I was going to lose you in the crowd.
I know, I never let go of your hand because I thought if I lose you, that's it.
But
we're lost forever.
The one thing about I found it was lovely was that Japanese people are very courteous, and when they'd taken their photo of the sites, they actually step back.
They step back, and they actually make room for you.
Yeah, and they
to come forward more.
Yeah, they don't. You know, they certainly are very courteous.
Yeah, exactly.
So
we eventually made it to the front, and oh my goodness, the view was spectacular.
To say the least.
We do have photos, but it's not going to do justice.
Well,
the photos are still good, but the views were amazing.
Yeah, well, I kept taking photos all the time, trying to get that absolute perfect photo just to showcase this fantastic site.
Yep. anyway, look, even fighting our way through all the crowds and lining up, it was so worth it. It was just worth it. But anyway, we're back on the bus.
Back on the bus, yes.
Going back to the ship. Oh goodness. Well, there were a few people complaining, saying, oh, it was so busy and they couldn't get to see the lights properly. But in particular, there were two ladies.
Oh gosh, yes, that's
and
right.
they were terrible. They were complaining and they were so loud, and they were giving the tour guide a hard time. They even gave the bus driver a hard time. Now, it's out of their control. Totally out of their control what we had to endure. But anyway, well, they were going back, when they got back to the ship, they were going straight to guest services and
demanding their money
back because it was totally unacceptable.
Unacceptable.
But
that's what they kept saying. This is unacceptable.
Yes.
How the princess allowed such a tour, but how princess can tell or can control the number of people that go to Mt Hakodate is beyond me, anyways.
Some people are never happy.
No.
Our tour guide, she was a lovely lady, and we felt very sorry for her because these ladies were giving her a very hard time. And she was obviously, you could see the stress on her face. And it was awful too because these ladies were making it uncomfortable for everybody on the bus.
No way.
So this poor, our tour guide lady, she tried to lighten the mood of everybody. So she told us a funny story about that her husband hates to travel or never ever travels. And she was saying that on her honeymoon, when they got married, she went on her honeymoon, and she said he didn't even go.
No, he wouldn't even go on a honeymoon.
He wouldn't go on their honeymoon.
Hated travelling.
Yeah.
So she's never been away.
So she took a friend with her. So she had a friend go on her honeymoon with her, and her husband stayed at home. And she was just saying that, you know, how lucky we all were that we had partners that like to travel. So it's a funny little story.
Yeah, it was. It moved quite nicely.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're back on the ship.
Back on the ship.
And it was quite late by that time, I think, because we were quite delayed by the crowds and everything there. But we had our usual nightcap with Ariel, the barman, at the Wheelhouse Bar and everything.
And listening to Paul.
Yeah. But just in summary, I'd say, even though it was quite overwhelming, if you get the chance to get up to Mt Hakodate at night, well worth it, and some great memories of that too. So even though the crowds and everything, it didn't spoil it for us. We just thoroughly enjoyed the evening as well. Yeah,
it was fantastic, wasn't it?
It was.
Another fantastic day.
It was. We hope you enjoyed part 13 of our holiday of a lifetime. In our next video, we arrive further north at the port of Mullaran and experience all the great sights that Japan can offer.